You ever feel like you're just drowning in information? Just endless articles, research, notes you feel like you should read.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just want someone to like boil it down, get to the good stuff.
Exactly. The core insights, the surprising bits, but without that feeling of being totally overwhelmed.
Well, that's pretty much our mission here on the deep dive. We take that pile, your articles, your research, maybe even your own notes, and we distill it. We find those nuggets of knowledge.
Think of it as your shortcut, a way to get genuinely well-informed. We try to find the surprising facts, maybe add a bit of humor to keep you hooked.
Keep it engaging, right? Learning shouldn't feel like a chore.
And today, our deep dive, well, it's a fascinating one. We're navigating the world of cryptocurrency, which is, often pretty volatile.
Definitely volatile.
Ugh.
We're also looking at the vision behind a key player in the MENA region, Amana.
Right, and exploring these unexpected ways AI, artificial intelligence, is kind of intersecting with finance and even our personal lives.
We've got some really rich source material to draw on here, mainly from an expert in the field, Matthew Carstens. He's the product director of experience for Amana.
Yeah, Amana, that neo-brokerage making waves.
So what you'll discover today, well, things like how early skepticism, like really early skepticism, can turn into deep conviction.
Good.
What it actually takes to build a fintech platform, especially one that's thriving.
Not easy, I imagine.
Not at all. We'll also look at the true drivers of crypto prices beyond just the daily headlines, the noise.
And how AI is changing, well, seemingly everything, from how we invest to maybe even our relationships.
It's a lot to unpack. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's start with the human element.
Yeah.
Because often that's where the real lessons are, right?
For sure.
Our source material introduces Matthew Carstens. And what's interesting is, despite being deep in crypto, he kind of pushes back on being called a crypto expert.
Yeah, he prefers expert in making mistakes and learning, which
Yeah.
I think is pretty telling.
It really is.
Yeah.
Especially in a space like crypto,
Yeah.
right? So volatile, always changing. That mindset of continuous learning seems absolutely critical.
Totally. I mean, this space with all the hype and the ups and downs, it pulls in curious people, but also, unfortunately, a lot of bad actors, as he calls them.
Right.
And Matthew really emphasizes that whether your experiments, your tries go well or badly, you're always learning something. That humility, that willingness to say, I'm messed up, that's how you build real expertise.
His own Bitcoin journey really shows this. He first heard about Bitcoin when it was, what, like $100?
Yeah, around there.
And he admits he thought it was the stupidest thing in the world. Like, he heard about it, dismissed it, heard about it again.
Ignored it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took like the third or fourth time hearing about it before he finally decided, okay, let me actually, dig in here.
And that's when he had that light switch moment, as he describes it.
Right. And the insight that hit him was powerful. The internet didn't have its own native money. Bitcoin, with its unique properties, it filled that gap. And from there, he just went deep down the rabbit hole, ended up owning hundreds and hundreds of them.
Wow. Hundreds.
Yeah.
Back then.
Recognizing it as this internet native sort of digital gold.
Yeah, and he wasn't just buying, he was advocating.
Yeah.
Telling friends, take the money you'd blow at the bar this weekend.
And just put it in this, set it and forget it. Yeah.
He framed it as this insane risk reward.
Yeah.
Like, if you're wrong, okay, you lost some beer money.
Money you to spend anyway.
But if you're right, it could change your life. That's a pretty compelling pitch back then.
It really is. And that initial skepticism, it wasn't just Bitcoin. He dismissed Ethereum, too, at first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was just another, Bitcoin thing that's kind of dumb. His
Yeah.
words.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, he learned more, had another light bulb moment, realized its use cases were totally different, especially for decentralized apps. He thought that was amazing.
And the same pattern with NFTs, like the punks.
Exactly the same. Thought they were stupid, until he connected it back to his childhood hobby, collecting baseball cards.
Ah, the collecting angle.
Right. Buy the rookie card. So he ended up buying, I think it was 20 punks based on that logic.
So the big lesson he pulled from all this journey of skepticism, then diving in, it's basically, don't just react instantly.
Yeah. Don't have that knee-jerk, this is dumb reaction. Keep asking why.
Because that's often how you stumble onto something really cool,
Yeah.
right? Not just in crypto, but any new tech.
It's a critical mindset. And for someone totally new, his definition of Bitcoin is pretty helpful. Just digital gold.
Simple, approachable.
Exactly. Internet native currency, store of value, you can get into the limited supply, the trustless stuff later. But digital gold gives you that immediate hook.
So for any skeptics listening, his advice is straightforward but important. Do your own research.
Absolutely crucial. He points out people have biases. They might be pumping their own bags, trying to get you interested in their thing.
Right. You got to look past that. He
Yeah.
uses the dot-com bubble analogy, too. Like, remember how people dismissed Amazon?
Yeah, and look now. New tech often gets dismissed, but then it just becomes part of how we live, embedded in society.
Okay, so moving beyond his personal journey, there's this core philosophy he shared that really shapes his work, especially at Amana. It's people, product, tech.
Yeah, that's a powerful framework. It all starts with people, your users, your colleagues, even your family. Understanding what makes people tick, serving them, that's the foundation.
Then the product comes next, and it has to serve those people, solve a real problem or, bring some joy.
Right. And then, only then, comes technology. Tech is just the tool. It serves the product, which serves the people, not the other way around.
You see tech becoming the focus way too often.
Exactly. And he applies this at Amana. Like, they don't just cram AI features in because AI is the buzzword.
Right.
They make sure it actually has a use case. Does it benefit the people using the platform? Is it genuinely serving them? It's about being thoughtful, not just flashy.
That makes sense. Slow and steady wins the race sometimes.
Especially in finance, yeah.
So let's dive into Amana itself then. You called it a neo-brokerage. What does that mean for someone unfamiliar?
Think of it as a modern, digital-first investment platform. Designed as a one-stop shop, really.
Okay. For who?
Pretty much everyone. From absolute beginners just starting out, dipping their toes in trading,
Right.
all the way to seasoned investors who are building long-term wealth.
And you mentioned the diversity of assets. Gold, oil, crypto, U.S. stocks, MEA stocks, FX. That's a lot.
It is, and what's really smart, I think, is how they approach it. They offer assets leveraged or unleveraged.
Okay, so options for different risk appetites.
Exactly. And they even pay interest on unused margins, so your cash isn't just sitting there dead. It's earning something while you wait for the right moment.
That's pretty useful. Capital efficiency, right?
Yeah.
Making your money work even when it's on the sidelines.
Precisely. And Amana isn't new to the region. They started, about 15 years ago?
Wow, okay, so they have deep roots.
Deep roots, yeah. A native understanding of the MENA region. But about 3 years ago, they did this complete revamp. Total overhaul into the mobile-first platform you see now.
And that led to serious growth.
Multiples of growth, according to the source. Huge response. Shows they hit the right note with the mobile focus and user needs.
And they're expanding, not just staying put.
Nope, actively expanding across MENA, big push into Lebanon mentioned. And interestingly, they're also targeting people outside the region who want exposure to MENA markets.
Global reach, local focus.
Kind of, yeah. And a big driver of that mobile transformation was their CEO, Mohammed Rasool. His leadership really set the direction, empowered the team.
Okay. But it couldn't have been easy. You mentioned challenges.
Oh, major challenge. Connecting directly to 6 major MENA stock exchanges, plus U.S. exchanges.
That sounds complex.
Incredibly. Amana is still the only broker who's done it. Huge technical and regulatory hurdles.
And they did this overhaul in 6 months. From scratch.
Ambitious is an understatement. Yeah, 6 months. Required some tough calls, always keeping that serve the people focus front and center.
And this commitment shows up in their crypto offering, too. Because Dubai is a big crypto hub.
Absolutely. They cater to that. Over 375 native crypto assets on the platform.
Native, meaning not just different trading pairs of the same coin.
Exactly. Distinct cryptocurrencies. That's a significant number for any neo-broker.
So how do they decide what comes next? What features to build?
It really comes down to listening to users and being really data-driven.
Got examples?
Sure. They're launching a Sharia watch list soon that came directly from user requests and analyzing what people needed.
Okay, user-driven.
Totally. And they've got this massive, large project, as Matthew called it, to speed up and automate withdrawals. That's purely based on user behavior data, making that experience smoother.
It's always a balancing act, though, right? Innovation versus stability, especially in finance.
It is. It's a tightrope. They manage it partly by hiring flexible people, empowering them, not rigid thinkers.
Adapt.
Yeah. And also by strategically managing their vendor relationships so they can swap out partners if needed if they're not meeting security standards or user needs. Gives them agility.
Okay, looking ahead then. The future of investing in the Middle East. What trends stand out?
Well, mobile is obviously huge. Almost everyone has a phone. That's the baseline now.
Right.
But where it gets really interesting, Matthew thinks, is real-world asset tokenization.
tokenizing real stuff,
Yeah.
like property.
Exactly. He thinks this will pick up pretty quick. The idea that eventually everything is going to be tokenized. Real estate, sure, but even like prediction markets, betting on the weather, tokenized.
Wow, okay, that's a big vision.
It is. And Amana is definitely interested. They want to offer tokenized assets if they're liquid. That's the key. No long lockup periods.
Makes sense for traders. They need liquidity.
Right. He even put a call out like, if you know liquid real estate solutions in the region, let them know. Shows they're actively looking.
That commitment to the user experience, it seems really dapped in. How does it look in the app itself for different types of users?
Good question. For new traders, they've done something pretty cool. Integrated Real Vision directly into the app.
Oh, Real Vision, the financial media platform.
Yeah. Investing courses, daily market commentary, all right there. Apparently, they're the only broker with it natively integrated. It makes learning super accessible.
That's smart, lowering the barrier to entry.
Exactly. Plus, the layout's simple, and they have this smart order ticket that figures out the right order type for you automatically. Very user-friendly.
And for the pros, the advanced traders.
They can just switch the view, get a more detailed interface, two-way pricing, all the bells and whistles they need.
So it adapts.
It adapts, which goes right back to that people-product tech idea, serving different needs.
You mentioned MENA earlier. Are there unique trading habits in that region, things that stand out?
Yeah, Matthew pointed out a really distinct regional preference. Heavy trading in gold and oil, those traditional tangible assets.
Okay, classics.
Right. But alongside that, really strong engagement with crypto. It's an interesting mix, old school and new school thriving together.
Fascinating duality. What about future features for the Amana app? Any sneak peeks?
A couple of things mentioned. They're planning to let users connect external wallets to the platform. That could open up a lot of possibilities.
Interesting. Interoperability.
Yeah. And staking is a high priority too, offering yield on crypto holdings. It would probably be live already, if not for another big project they're finishing up.
And what about an Amana token? Lots of platforms have their own tokens these days.
They're talking about it, discussing it internally. But Matthew is really clear. They need a solid long-term plan first.
Not just launching one for the sake of it.
Exactly. It has to provide real, sustained benefit to clients, maintain that trust. It's not just a gimmick for them.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit. The broader crypto market. How does Matthew view all the day-to-day noise? Geopolitical events, Fed meetings.
He mostly sees that as, well, noise, short-term fluctuations. He tries to look past the hourly or daily stuff and identify the bigger waves playing out over weeks, the macro shifts.
Makes sense. Filter out the noise, find the signal. What are some of those bigger signals or waves he's watching?
One really significant factor right now is the U.S. Genius Act.
Genius Act, I haven't heard of that one.
It's providing much-needed regulatory clarity around stablecoins. You know, the crypto's pegged to things like the U.S. dollar.
Ah, okay. Regulation's been a huge question mark.
Exactly. And this clarity, it's opening a floodgate, as he put it, for U.S. financial institutions to finally start working properly with stablecoins. That's massive for adoption.
It's huge. And where does Ethereum fit into this?
Well, crucially, most stablecoins are built on Ethereum. That creates this powerful network effect.
Right, everyone's already there.
Precisely. So it becomes the preferred railroad track for these institutions. Less friction, proven infrastructure. It just makes sense.
Okay, so institutions get comfortable with stablecoins on Ethereum. What happens next?
You see the rise of these treasury firms. They act as a bridge.
A bridge for who?
For traditional institutions like big pension funds that maybe can't directly buy crypto because of their rules or bylaws.
Gotcha. So these firms help them get exposure.
Yeah, they offer exposure through different wrappers, like maybe structuring it as an equity investment in a fund that holds crypto so it fits in a standard 401k.
Clever workarounds. Any examples?
Peter Thiel investing in Ethereum via a biotech firm was mentioned as one way these things happen, finding indirect routes.
Okay. And this connects to concepts like yield and total value locked, or TVL. How should we understand those?
So yield is basically earning interest on your crypto, like you can with Ethereum through various methods like staking.
Like making your assets productive.
And TVL, total value locked. Matthew had a good analogy. Think of it like a company doing a stock buyback.
Okay. How so?
When assets like ETH get locked up in DeFi protocols or for staking, they're taken out of the liquid, circulating supply. This creates a kind of base underneath the price, support level.
Reducing supply pressure.
Exactly. And he noted how TVL surged like from $30 billion up to $150 billion right after the hype around BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF started. Shows growing confidence and locking up of assets.
So putting it all together, predictions for the next, say, 2 to 3 years. Where does he see growth?
He highlighted a few areas: mature DeFi protocols, especially those backed by Ethereum, like Aave and Curve.
Okay, the established players.
Right. Also gaming tokens and AI-related tokens, specifically ones that can help prove and timestamp things, fight fakes in an AI world.
Interesting use case. Authentication.
Yeah. And of course, the big leaders. Solana, despite current heat, he thinks it won't go away. Bitcoin, obviously, and Aave again.
And what's on the flop list? What does he think won't do well?
He was pretty emphatic about this. Any celebrity meme coin, just avoid them.
Straight up gambling.
Basically, yeah. Calls them gambling, says they're short-lived. But he did acknowledge the sort of weird thing about some meme coins like Doge.
Doge just keeps hanging around.
Right, because it's cheap, it has this cultural status now. It's less about utility and more about, well, culture. A fascinating difference.
What about XRP? That one always seems to be in the conversation.
He touched on it, acknowledged its persistence, strong community, some legal issues getting resolved. But he kind of sees it on a separate train track. Different goals, different path than, say, Ethereum with its institutional pull.
Got it. Different ecosystems. Let's talk about the halving, Bitcoin halving. That just happened back in April 2024. What's the thinking there?
Well, historically, there's a pattern. Bitcoin tends to hit a new all-time high roughly 18 months after a halving.
So April 2024 halving
Yeah,
potentially points to around October 2025 for a new peak.
that's the historical model, yeah. And Matthew thinks it will probably happen again. He mentioned the correlation with money supply and also the market having PTSD from past cycles that got cut short, leading to big crashes. People are maybe more cautious, but still expect the cycle.
Interesting psychology there, market PTSD. You mentioned Larry Fink, the BlackRock CEO, predicting the UAE will lead global crypto adoption. How is Amana positioned for that?
They seem to be leaning into it. Hiring young, tech-savvy local talent, actively asking for their feedback, even the nitpicky stuff, to make the platform better.
Using that local insight.
Exactly. Staying agile by listening to the people on the ground who will be driving that adoption.
And how do they decide which crypto assets to list out of the thousands out there?
It's a pretty pragmatic process. First, user demand. Are people asking for it?
Makes sense.
Second, liquidity providers. Is there enough market depth to support trading without huge price swings?
Crucial for a stable platform.
And third, rigorous risk management. They typically avoid listing anything with less than, say, $100 million market cap, trying to filter out the super speculative smaller project.
Protect the clients.
Right. And on the regulatory side, again, more positive signs from the U.S. were mentioned. Paul Atkins at SECJ allowing staking, clarifying assets aren't necessarily securities.
That makes things way easier for institutions, right?
Hugely. Makes the whole space super attractive, as Matthew put it. There was even talk of BlackRock potentially opening a digital-only exchange in Texas. Things are moving.
Definitely feels like the landscape is shifting. Okay, let's pivot one last time to AI, the AI frontier. It's moving so fast. How does someone like Matthew even keep up?
Good question. His strategy. Constant reading, social media, staying plugged into the conversation, and even asking AI itself what's new.
Using the tool to understand the tool.
Meta, pretty much.
And how is Amana actually using AI? Are there concrete examples in the app?
Yes, definitely. They're not just talking about it. They already have or are about to launch things like AI-generated news synopses, quick summaries.
Handy. Saves time.
Yeah. And English to Arabic news conversion using AI. Again, it's all focused on serving the client, making information more accessible, more useful, not just tech for tech's sake.
That practical application makes sense.
Yeah.
But AI's impact, it goes beyond finance, right, into personal relationships. This part of the source material was really thought-provoking.
It really was. Matthew shared a personal anecdote about using AI almost like a friend or counselor for parenting advice.
Seriously, how?
Asking it things like, help me be a better dad, trying to understand his daughter's behavior from a different perspective, using AI to process his own thoughts and get suggestions.
Wow, that's quite personal.
Yeah.
I know someone, my friend's niece actually, who uses ChatGPT for school stuff, obviously, but also for advice on friend problems instead of talking to her parents or aunts.
See, it's happening already. It's this blend of being maybe a little scary, as you said, but also potentially incredibly helpful. The intimacy people are developing with these tools is something else.
Yeah. And it leads to this broader idea mentioned, autonomous AI agents.
Right. AI that doesn't just answer questions, but acts on your behalf. managing assets, doing complex tasks automatically.
Like AI searching the market, doing automated trades, handling wealth management.
Exactly. Matthew thinks that kind of capability might be easy for AI to do really soon.
Makes you wonder about the future of financial advisors, doesn't it?
It certainly does. The whole landscape could change dramatically.
Okay, wow. We have covered a ton of ground today. This has been a phenomenal deep dive.
It really has. From Matthew Carstens' personal crypto journey, which is fascinating,
Yeah, the skepticism to conviction arc.
to the strategic growth of amana, especially in that vibrant MENA region. Then looking at the future of digital assets, the macro trends.
And wrapping up with the profound and sometimes pretty surprising impact of AI. On markets, sure, but also just on our daily lives.
So much packed in there.
So, key takeaways. What really stands out for you from all this?
For me, it's that philosophy of learning through mistakes, being okay with not knowing everything, especially in new frontiers like crypto.
Yeah, that humility and the people product tech framework, that really stuck with me. Such a clear way to prioritize.
Absolutely. Understanding those bigger macro forces driving crypto beyond the hype.
And then navigating this rise of AI, both as a financial tool and increasingly as this almost personal assistant or advisor. There's just so much to chew on here.
There really is.
Yeah.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe,
Yeah.
for you listening.
Yeah.
As technology keeps blurring these lines, between finance and our everyday lives, and as AI gets more, well, intimate, woven into our personal decisions.
How do you define value in this new landscape?
Yeah.
And what role are you going to let these incredibly powerful tools play in shaping your future?
It's a big question. No easy answers.
That's definitely something to mull over. We really encourage you to explore these ideas further. Do your own research, like Matthew advised. Ask those why questions. Keep learning.
And if you have questions or insights from your own deep dives into these topics, share them with us. We'd genuinely love to hear them.